Woo! Okay, wow, it's that kind of morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Comet, and welcome to just another Magic Monday. Your cosmic overview for the week of August 16th to August 22nd, breaking down how you can synchronize with the cosmos to live your most magical, aligned life. I'm here every single Monday, 2:30 a.m. PDT, 5:30 a.m. EDT. And for those who get cosmic with me every Monday, I am so appreciative. Thank you so much for the support. And it really is my favorite comment to read that you look forward to these on Monday, or that it's a bright spot of your day, because we here on this corner of the internet are rebranding Mondays rather than like, Monday blues. No, we're making our Mondays magical, and we're making our weeks magical. So let's dive into the cosmos this week, which I love talking about weeks like this because it's a good week. It's a good week. It's a good week, y'all. You know, there's always going to be pockets of annoyances and inconvenience. Nothing could be perfect, but I will say this week is pretty positive, all things considered. So we've got Uranus stationing retrograde. We've got a lot of planets cozy in their home signs. And we've got a pretty bright, optimistic full moon in Aquarius over the weekend. And no, I'm not misspeaking. There are 2 full moons this year in Aquarius. And the first one was rather intense, and this one is rather positive. And I'll break down why that is. Please keep in mind throughout the course of this video that every time I mention a time, I'm speaking in PDT as I am located on the West Coast. So please adjust to your time zone wherever you are. Comment below where you're tuning in from. I would love to know where everyone is. And there are timestamps below, so if you want to, come back to particular days, if you aren't into my spiel at the beginning, you can just jump ahead. I get it. I used to really try to keep these less than 10 minutes, but lately I've just been chatting. And last week I was like, girlie, we've got to cut down on the chit chat. So let me know if you find that these are too long, too short. I'm definitely amenable to any shifts or changes that you would love to see. So timestamps below. And if you could just keep in the back of your head, if there's anything I say that you're excited by, you get excited for the week, if you wouldn't mind considering dropping a like, commenting something below, subscribing, those little nudges are what helps me post these Magic Mondays every single Monday. So I'm really appreciative, and thank you so much. And without further ado, let's dive into the vibe check of the week, my thematic overview of what the energy of this week feels like. Okay, so I want you to think of a weekend, okay? A weekend, and I know not all of us have weekends off. Some of us work on the weekends. I work a lot of the weekends, honestly, myself, but I want you to think of a weekend that you have off. Let's say if you work like a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday type situation, you have a weekend off. Great, right? And it's one of those weekends where it's just the perfect balance. Like you sleep in on Saturday morning, and then you get up and go for a hike with a friend. You grab lunch, you come back, you handle all your errands, you go grocery shopping, you organize something. On Sunday, you go to a picnic with your family, you work on a creative project. I want you to think of that weekend that's the perfect blend of activities, the perfect blend of work, of productivity, the perfect blend of fun, of, spending money, and also the perfect blend of just like rest and relaxation and doing nothing, right? All 3 of those categories, especially when I was working a 9 to 5 schedule, like on the weekends when something's out of balance, when it's like, you had to do all these errands and you feel just so not refreshed, or you did nothing all weekend, you just stayed in bed and watched Netflix, and then you're like, I could have been more social. Or you were social all weekend, and then you walk into work on Monday with like a hangover and you spend a ton of money and you're like, So I want you to think of the weekend that's just the perfect balance of all those things, and the vibe that you get feeling refreshed and going to that work week. You've taken that time to relax, to attend to your tasks, to attend to your errands, to, get the house clean, but also have time to relax and also have time to have social. You like walk in feeling a little bit more rejuvenated, a little bit more refreshed. And that's sort of how we're walking into Virgo season this Sunday, which, yes, the sun ingresses into Virgo Sunday the 22nd, the same day as the full moon. And that's the vibe of this week, is having that perfect balance of fun and productivity and play and relaxation, and moving in and being like, okay, and now I'm ready to attend to what needs to be attended to. My life feels balanced at this moment, or I feel like I'm giving myself all of these different components of what's necessary. So you got that refreshed, balanced weekend. And if you're listening to this and you're like, girly, I've not had one of those weekends in a long time, I feel you. Balance is not easy to come by at all. Cosmos right now with the sun in the last degrees of Leo, Mercury and Mars already in Virgo with the sun soon to join it. It's this balance of play, creativity, self-expression, that's the Leo, and then shifting to productivity, to errands, to the to-dos, and finding a little bit of balance within our world between all of these different components of our lives and components of ourselves, and allowing ourselves to genuinely find that balance, especially it's the end of summer if you're in the northern hemisphere, so taking advantage of, the longer days, making sure you're having fun, creating. So it's just important right now to be having balance between, yes, the Virgo energy is hyping up our productivity, our tasks, our attention to detail, our health journey, our habits, right? But this is the last part of, the sun and Leo, and we're moving into the end of the summer. So great time to, make sure that you're carving time to be more carefree, to be more creative, to have social time, to rest and relax if you need to find that balance within your world. Venus is now in Libra, right? Sign of the scales, find that balance within your life. So earlier this week, we have Sun in Leo, we have Mercury in Virgo, we have Venus in Libra, and we have Saturn in Aquarius. Those are all in their home signs. And when planets are in their home signs, they operate a little stronger. So this is a really powerful week. This is a really potent week. This is a really productive week, but just keep in mind with Venus in Libra, it's really striving for us to find balance so we can, yes, achieve our goals, yes, be productive, yes, clean our houses, yes, work on our health, but also ensure that we're giving to the other components of ourselves as well. So let's break it down day by day, starting with August 16th. We've got a Sagittarius Moon, which is attuned to the big picture. It's a little bit more optimistic. It's like this sort of energy when you're moving into that weekend and you're like, yeah, I can go to brunch with you and then I'll schedule this hike. You're just feeling a little bit more optimistic when overviewing things. And this week in particular is a really great time. It's not a new moon, so I'm not saying like necessarily manifesting or anything like that, but just affix yourself to the big picture of your world. Like taking that step back and being like, okay, do I feel like I have time for all of the creative projects that I want to attend to? Do I feel like I have the budget, for my trip to Cuba next year? It's around taking that step back because, with so much of the energy in Virgo, it's very much attending to the details of our life. With those Virgo planets bickering with the Sagittarius Moon, it's almost like, okay, yes, the little details of our life are important, but are those little details in life supporting the big picture, the big vision? Behind every big vision, behind every big accomplishment is a bunch of little things that make it up. So easy to applaud people when they're at the accomplishment, when they're at the big picture. But behind that was discipline, that was waking up, that was pitching and getting rejected, that was having to do the hard work, that was having to have boundaries, that was having to have hard conversations, that was saying no to going out that particular night. It takes a lot of like little sacrifices or like little discipline that we don't often see at times. So with Monday and Tuesday, it is this optimistic energy with the Sagittarius Moon around like, okay, what is it that I'm dreaming of? What is it that I want to call in? And with the squaring energy in Virgo, and how does my daily routine support this? Okay, yes, I want to go to Cuba. Am I, budgeting $100 from every paycheck to go to my Cuba fund? I want to join the circuit. Am I carving out 20 minutes to practice juggling morning and night? So Monday and Tuesday is this more bright, optimistic energy around what is it that it's all going towards? And then with it squaring the energy in Virgo, and how do the little details of my life support that vision? And there's some anchoring there because the Sagittarius Moon will also sextile Saturn in Aquarius. So if you have to have some sort of meeting around strategizing the next quarter or promoting a new idea, or if you are an entrepreneur and you want to launch or discuss some sort of offering or work on a collaboration or something like, Monday is a really nice time. We're feeling a little bit more optimistic and we have the anchoring from Saturn to get real results from the visions that we're putting out there. Tuesday, the 17th, the Sagittarius Moon does bicker with Neptune and Pisces early in the morning, and we know with this particular combination, this is a time that we can find it harder to concentrate. We can, want to do other things other than work. Honestly, Sagittarius Moon, square Neptune, Pisces feels like this sort of energy on Tuesday. We're like, okay, I've been working really hard and I really deserve to go to bottomless mimosas with my friends instead of going to work today. I'm not necessarily giving you permission to ditch work on Tuesday. That's not it at all. With the square to Neptune and Pisces, there is a potential that we could sort of go overboard with those sort of things. But with the Sagittarius Moon also trining Sun in Leo later that day, it is a time to expand fun. Like I was talking about in the vibe check, if you are just working and like burning yourself out all the time, you're gonna go back to that work and feel equally exhausted. If you took that time to genuinely rejuvenate, whether that's through fun, whether that's through creativity, whether that's through, watching Netflix and relaxing, whatever it is, it's important for us to have balance, even if we're pursuing our goals, even if we're, so passionate and so fired up about it. Sometimes taking that step back to rejuvenate ourselves with fun, with play, with love, whatever it is, allows us to be more productive and more focused. Because when we are present with our play, when we are present with our needs, when we are present with our desires, present with our energy, we'll also be present with our work. If you're constantly finding yourself like, nope, keep working, I don't care, 6 more hours, whatever, you're gonna find that your work is a little bit more sloppy because you are burnt out. You're burnt out. So anyways, Tuesday, come back to the fun in life, rejuvenate yourself, whether that is a fun date roller skating by yourself, or hanging out with a friend, whether that is lying in bed, something that just generally celebrates you. Just don't go overboard because the Sagittarius Moon does square Neptune and Pisces. The moon is void at 6:43, and then it will enter Capricorn at 10:58 p.m. PDT. On Wednesday the 18th, the moon will be in Capricorn all day, which again is a very productive, ambitious sort of energy. That Capricorn moon is receiving all sorts of support from Mercury, Mars, and Uranus. It does square off with Venus in Libra on Wednesday, so I wouldn't say this would be the greatest time for like meetings. This is great to just muscle through the solo work that you have to do. Like seriously, no one can get in a Capricorn moon trining all of these Virgo planets. Like this is the energy to attend to a lot of your work, right? So you can play and have fun all weekend. Remember, this week is about balance in all of the different sectors of your life and not feeling guilty around your rest and your play, particularly Monday and Tuesday and over the weekend, because this Capricorn moon is time to bust it out, work through all of your projects, tend to what needs to be attended to. I mentioned not necessarily maybe working with people just because the Capricorn moon does square off with Venus in Libra. Venus in Libra wants to find harmony amongst all people, and with it squaring the moon in Capricorn, you could get frustrated that people aren't working as fast as you are, or just be like, there's no time for pleasantries because there's so much work to be done. And also there could be a tendency to come off a little abrasive because Mercury conjoins Mars on Wednesday. Now, I'm personally so excited about this because this is an aspect I have within my natal chart. A lot of you have pointed out that I talk with my hands a lot and I talk very fast. I attribute this to Mercury conjunct Mars. Mine is not in Virgo as it is this week, but I have that aspect, just another sign. And I say that because Mars is action, it is energy, it is movement. So when you have Mercury, which is communication, buddied up with Mars, the way that communication tends to be is a little bit more forceful, a little bit more to the point, a little bit faster in my case, a little bit movement in my case. But with it happening this week, Mercury is exalted in Virgo, which means it performs very, very well there. So with Mercury in Virgo, it's really firing up logic, rationale, focusing on the details. And with that, it could come off the wrong way on Wednesday if you say something that's the truth or just trying to get to the point. And with the Capricorn moon bickering with Venus in Libra, it's like, oh, where are the pleasantries? Or it's like, this needs to be done. Why is this not done? Mercury in Virgo is very mechanical. It's very about the facts. It's about the figures. But with Mars, it might come out a little bit more forceful, a little bit more direct than you necessarily intended for it to sound. So Wednesday, you can find that when it comes to, if you have any writing to do, any copywriting, any marketing, anything like that, Mercury Mars, especially with it trining the Capricorn moon, this is a laser focus of being able to rattle off a ton of stuff. It's firing up our minds. But we could find, especially within Virgo, we might feel like we're a little bit neurotic, having a harder time sort of just like relaxing, sleeping that night because our mind is just all over the place, going a mile a minute. Mars is energy, Mercury is words. The two are combined. So we have a lot of energy in our words this week, but it could go overboard, whereas we're saying something that comes off a little bit more direct or abrasive than we intended, or our mind just like will not shut up or like shut off from work, especially with the Capricorn moon. Thursday the 19th, Uranus stations retrograde. Again, not the most rare thing ever. The outer planets are commonly retrograde. It's not like you have to freeze your entire life if you're like about to press send on like a huge proposal that you've been working on and you're like, oh, Uranus is stationing retrograde. Not a big deal. But I will say we feel the planets a little bit more when they station and go retrograde, and we're moving into some Uranus aspects towards the end of the week, which does favor novelty, originality, creativity, newness, etc. With Uranus stationing retrograde, there is sort of a review to anything that has not felt authentic, that has not felt heart-centered, and a sort of a review of how we have innovated or changed and how we have not, right? With Uranus retrograde, it turns the energy inwards. Uranus is the energy of expecting the unexpected, of eccentricity, of daring to break out of the mold. So it's similar to the Magic Monday a couple of weeks ago where I was saying like quitting the cheer squad, like letting go from, you know, what no longer fits. With Uranus retrograde, it's sort of an internal review around that. Like, okay, does this life really feel like it celebrates me? Does my friend group really celebrate the person I am, or am I outgrowing this? It's more of an internal journey around how you relate with the energy of Uranus. Thursday is another really productive day. The Capricorn moon gets sextile to Neptune and Pisces, which is allowing us to find a little bit more creativity. It does conjoin Pluto, so there might be a lot of pressure that we put on ourselves, or something might occur and it's like not a big deal, but we're taking that really seriously. You know, we receive feedback from a superior and we take it a lot harder than we would at normal times. Try not to overwork, particularly past 4:59 p.m. Just like wipe your hands and be done with it. Find some rest, find some relaxation. The moon is void, so it's not like you'll be terribly productive anyway. But I just fear with the Capricorn moon conjoining Pluto that you could find that you're putting some pressure on yourself, whether it's like bringing your work home with you that night. Try to just leave it there. Like I said, this week is about balance. Those weekends when you attended to, yes, your health and your rest and all of these different facets of yourself, and you walk back into work feeling rejuvenated, feeling refreshed because you've given to yourself in all of these different facets. So put it down, wipe your hands away from it, don't bring it home. And instead of bringing your work home, do something fun, as the Leo moon does oppose Jupiter in Aquarius, just sort of like end of summer hurrah sort of energy. I mean, as always with Jupiter, tendency to go to excess, but with the Leo sign, let it have some excess. Have some fun. Go out, or maybe your fun is sitting on the couch watching Real Housewives. That's my fun a lot of the times. Doing something that just feels good, that just fills yourself up. Hey everyone, I cannot over-exaggerate how fun editing these are when I go on random rants without mentioning the cosmic event that inspired such a rant. So that is about to occur. So I want to pop on via voiceover. Hey, it's editing Haley here, and let you know why I went on said rant. Mercury trines Uranus on Friday. So with Uranus being the planet of eccentricity, new ideas, we could find that we're really getting out there ideas, especially since the moon is in Aquarius all day. And since Mercury and Mars are gathered together, they're also trining Uranus, which is sort of supercharging those planets with new ideas, new techniques, new viewpoints, which inspired the spiel that you're about to listen to right now. And keep in mind, Mercury and Mars are sort of buddy-buddy this week, right? So our words, our communication is supercharged. That's why I'm saying don't just, spend the entire week at the beach playing. Balance. Also attend to your productivity. Also attend to your errands, because there's a lot of power in our words and in our organization of our world with the two. Like a couple weeks ago, I was saying like get organized in terms of like clearing out. This week, particularly move towards the weekend, focus on streamlining like little processes that would make your life simpler or a little bit easier, or that could save you time. Remember, Uranus invites in new strategies, new techniques, and with it trining Mercury, which is our words, and Mars is our action, and Mercury and Mars are in Virgo, which is the little details of our life. It really gives this supercharging boost in terms of finding little ways to revolutionize our life through techniques, strategies, routines. Maybe you always feel like you wake up too late to go to the gym before work and then you're down on yourself because you didn't get it in. Maybe you find during this influence you start doing it in the afternoon, in the evening time. You invite in a new that's the Uranus, routine, that's the Virgo, into your world that really helps you work on those positive habits that you're trying to bring in. So new strategies for health. Maybe you're sick of trying to force yourself to be keto, but maybe it's opening your eyes to be like, let me try something different. Let me like book a session with a nutritionalist and see what they recommend for my body type and doing a different thing. Rather than forcing ourselves to do things the hard way, this is a sort of energy where it's inviting a new strategy that can positively affect our well-being. Moon enters Aquarius 149. This will be the sign of the full moon on Sunday. The Aquarius moon trines Venus and Libra. So bulk those meetings that I told you to hold off on Wednesday, possible to Friday, because we're in the mood to collaborate, to get along, to think about new ideas, to work with groups, organization, things of life, to find the peace. The moon conjoins Saturn at 4:55, which can create some somberness, some intensity around our work. But I will say at the end of the week, it sort of feels like this energy where it's like, okay, a job well done. Like I can relax now. I did what I wanted to do. I checked off what was on my checklist. Let me just celebrate and reward myself. Another day that I would say, get out of the office at 4:55 p.m. You did enough. You were balanced. Let's not put so much pressure on ourselves that we feel like we need to overextend ourselves. Balanced, okay? It's last week of Leo season. You deserve to have fun. You deserve rest. You deserve relaxation. You deserve all of the things. Saturday 21st, Mars will trine Uranus as well. Because keep in mind, Mercury and Mars are sort of in the same sector of the sky right now. So if you're trying to integrate a new exercise routine, anything of like, 21st is a great day to try it on. Do something fun on Saturday the 21st. Try something new. The moon does square off with Uranus in Taurus. Again, it's like that balance of your weekends of having both familiarity, like watching that series that you've watched a gazillion times because it just soothes you, with trying a new hike, with trying a new restaurant, with getting yourself out there. So that equal balance of comfort with exploration. Sunday the 22nd, the full moon in Aquarius, it peaks early in the morning. And I should mention throughout the course of this week, it is a full moon week. It is a more positive influence as this full moon is conjoining Jupiter. But nevertheless, you know, if you watch these a lot, people tend to be a little wacky during full moons. Things tend to be more intense. They tend to be more hectic, which is again what I'm saying. It might be this rapid pace, but I don't want you to get so caught up in it that you feel like you have to burn yourself out. Slow and steady, attend to what needs to be attended to, find little ways to streamline and improve your life, but also find that time to step away from the work, to relax. You can come back to it more rejuvenated, more productive the next day. We are not burning ourselves out this week, okay? But there will be an intense feeling as we build towards this full moon. It exacts Sunday morning at 5:02 a.m., conjoins Jupiter, and to me, it just sort of feels like this end of summer, just feeling proud of yourself for whatever it is that you've built, or feeling optimistic about your future, or looking back at the summer, celebrating with friends or with organization or something of the like, being connected with other people. And that might be digitally, that might be in person, but it's almost this energy around feeling proud about what you're building, knowing that there's still, work to be done, but feeling proud of a week well worked, a week well balanced as well, and feeling optimistic about what life has in store for you, because it has so much in store for you. The moon then shortly enters Pisces at 5:43 a.m. Dreaminess to escapism to sensitivity. And then the sun enters Virgo at 2:35, signaling a season of attending to our habits, attending to the little details of our life, working through our tasks. Like Virgo season is when we do the work, right? So that's why I'm saying like this week is like a weekend where everything's balanced, and then moving into Virgo season, that's like the Monday, hypothetically. Hopefully that makes sense, because Virgo is when we chug. It's the little worker bee sort of energy. So maybe you've been dreaming and calling in all of these things, but that magic that you're looking for, that big picture that you're looking for, is in those little details. Isn't that annoying labor that you've been avoiding, that you haven't wanted to do? That's where the results come from, is showing in and day out. And a lot of people who have made it, quote unquote, it makes it look so easy, like it just happened one day. But behind any big picture is a lot of little details, a lot of little sacrifices, a lot of little hard work. Now, keep in mind, I'm not saying burn yourself out, like work every single day until you're drained. No, also part of succeeding and part of productivity is giving yourself, your brain, your body, that rest that it needs, that balance that it needs, that love that it needs. That's an intrinsic part to success. And what we're aiming for this week is, yes, productivity, but balanced. And with the moon in Pisces all day, lovely time to connect to your spirituality, to attune to your sensitivity. Friends, I hope you all have the most beautiful week. Next time I see you all, it will be Virgo season. Until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay